Happy holidays. Happy holidays. Destroying my desk. May the merry bells be ringing. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Ben. And we're getting ready for the holiday season. You can tell I got my jingle bells. It's basically that time already. We went to go get stuff at the store today. Some holiday supplies, make it look a little cheery. They're basically out. It was already all on clearance. People were already bought up for the holidays. It's already too close. I have here the promised land eggnog. I don't know if, you can see it a little clearly. I love eggnog. I had actually planned on filming this like 2 weeks back, and I brought 3 separate things of eggnog, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna try them all. Yeah, I drank them all prior to the video, so I bought my favorite one off of those. I tried Dean's, I tried a Kroger brand, I think, and so now I got this Promised Land from the Jersey cow. Y'all don't know about the Jersey cow. That's why we're here today. We're learning about eggnog. So I have my It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year mug. I've already shaken this well enough. I don't think I need to shake it. I think that's well shaken. Now, I probably shouldn't be drinking all this nog. My stomach's already pretty full. We had arepas not too long ago. Highly recommend if you've never had them. That sweet noggy nog. Today we're gonna learn about eggnog. I realized it's one of my favorite drinks of the season, of ever. If they sold eggnog all year round, I would get it. I'm the guy who goes immediately after Halloween to go get eggnog, because it's already out. In fact, this year they had pumpkin nog. I steered clear of that. It kind of skeeved me out, but I realized I don't know much about the sweet nog, and I wanted to learn a little bit about it. So I figured today I would recommend grab a glass of eggnog, sit down, and let's relax. Maybe grate a little nutmeg on top. A little nut. I'll be right back. Silver bells, it's Christmas time in the city. I don't have fresh nutmeg. I got ground nutmeg. I know it's a sin not to use fresh nutmeg. Sorry about you. That's what I got. I don't even have a microplaner to get fresh nutmeg scraped on top, so one must be very cautious when using nutmeg, because it can be potent. I have actually started using this on like savory dishes and stuff like that. It's really tasty. All right, y'all. Let's buckle in. Let's just hold up. Let's just buckle in and learn about eggnog. Eggnog. Eggnog's a beverage. Did you know that? We'll start with Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. I do donate to Wikipedia because I use it so freaking often. I just feel bad if I don't donate. I'm not guilting anybody who doesn't. That's just me. So eggnog, historically also known as milk punch or egg milk punch, is a rich, chilled, sweetened, dairy-based beverage. It is traditionally made with milk, cream, sugar, whipped, egg whites, and egg yolks, which gives it the frothy texture in its name. In some contexts, distilled spirits such as brandy, rum, whiskey, or bourbon are also added to the drink. I already have eggnog burps. What do we think? I'm already acting a little wild. Do we want to add some, I got some rye whiskey I could add to this. Do we think that'd be tasty? Is that gonna be good? Let's get a little bit. Let's just get a little bit, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose. I don't know if I can even put this. I set it on top of my mic. I'll just set it in front of me. I'll just. Can I put it in my head? That's not gonna work. Okay. I do have my bullet whiskey. Ladies and gentlemen, always drink responsible. Always measure what you're pouring, because you never know how much you're actually pouring. You always want to measure it into a jigger first. Do I have anything to stir with? I got an old pencil. Is that weird? That's a little gross. That's a little gross. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna... Definitely not using an old pencil. Don't... No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's okay. I got a trash can that I can put it into. Okay. So, did you know that throughout Canada and the United States, eggnog is traditionally consumed over the Christmas seasons, from late October until the end of the holiday season? A variety called ponche crema has been made and consumed in Venezuela and Trinidad since the 1900s. Ponche crema? What is this? Is a cream-based liqueur that originates in Venezuela. Liqueur, interesting. Recipes vary depending on the region, but main ingredients typically include milk, eggs, sugar, rum, and other minor ingredients such as vanilla, nutmeg, cinnamon, and lemon rind. A variant type is prepared with concentrated liquid coffee or instant coffee powder. That sounds good. I made my eggnog a little strong. The origin of the recipe for this commercial product could not be determined. Interesting. Okay, so we're going back to eggnog now. Ponche crema sounds good, but that's not what we're looking at. The eggnog is also homemade using milk, eggs, sugar, and flavorings, and served with cinnamon or nutmeg. Maybe I'll make eggnog sometime. While eggnog is often served chills, in some cases it's warmed, particularly on cold days, similarly in the way that mulled wine is served warm. If you don't know about mulled wine, everybody should have some mulled wine. This is also my thing with the season. Spiced wine, it's heated up and you add like nutmeg, mulling spices, nutmeg, orange, cinnamon, clove, anise. It's so freaking good. Back to eggnog. Goodbye Santa hat. Eggnog or eggnog flavoring may also be used in other drinks, such as coffee, eggnog lattes, disgusting, and tea, or to dessert foods such as egg custard puddings. And I'm gonna say right now, if anybody has an issue with me saying that eggnog lattes are disgusting, you should work at Starbucks and then get back to me. Terminology. The Modern Bartender's Guide from 1878, not very modern anymore, may list many variant names for the drink. It distinguishes plain eggnog, egg milk punch, and milk punch from one another. It includes variants such as Baltimore eggnog, General Jackson eggnog, Imperial eggnog, you imperial scum. Two types of sherry cobbler eggnog, as well as sherry cobbler with egg, mulled claret with egg sour, and Saratoga Egg Lemonade. Don't want to look that one up, but I'm really about to, because that sounds horrific. It's a drink from 1935. Oh man, I think I'm looking up a book that we shouldn't be reading. Hold on. Where is it? Saratoga Egg Lemonade. Let's see. Saratoga Egg Lemonade is 1 egg, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1/2 the juice of a lemon. Fill 3/4 of the glass with fine ice, balance with water, use the shaker until well mixed, strain and serve with a little nutmeg on top. Sounds pretty gross. Is this a No, it's just a drink. Someday we'll make the Saratoga Egg Lemonade. The British drink was also called the egg flip, practice of flipping, rapidly pouring the mixture between 2 pitchers to mix it. One dictionary lists the word eggnog as being an Americanism invented between 1765 and 77. And the French term lait de poule, poulet, literally hen's milk. Gross. So let's see its development. Let's see. I'm okay not knowing about it. Tom and Jerry cocktail. In Britain, the drink was originally popular among the aristocracy. Very aristocrat. Milk, eggs, and sherry were the foods of the wealthy. So eggnog was often used in toasts, prosperity, and good health. A toast for the season. To your good health, to my good health, to your family's good health. This is actually a time when we want to be toasting to good health. Here is to your health. Clink. Those are good for milk and eggs and costly spirits. Mix the eggnog with brandy, Madeira wine, or sherry to make a drink similar to a modern alcoholic eggnog. The drink crossed the Atlantic to the British colonies during the 18th century. Since brandy and wine were heavily taxed, rum from the triangular trade with the Caribbean was a cost-effective substitute. The inexpensive liqueur, coupled with plentiful farm and dairy products available to colonists, helped the drink become very popular in America. Because we were all farmers. I get that. And the supply of rum to the newly founded United States was reduced as a consequence of the American Revolutionary War. Americans turned to domestic whiskey, and eventually bourbon in particular as a substitute. Actually, this is technically rye whiskey. This isn't bourbon. Oh, it's a straight bourbon. So this is, if you didn't know, I know we're learning about eggnog. Whiskey is just the process. Bourbon means it's American. It has to be made in America to be bourbon. It's like champagne has to be made in Champagne, France. That's where the grapes have to come from. Homemade moonshine spirits were added to eggnog. Gotta be careful with that. Eggnog became tied to the holidays when it was adopted in the United States in the 1700s. Wow. Eggnog seems to have been popular on both sides of the Atlantic in the 18th century. Records show that the first U.S. President, George Washington, served an eggnog-like drink to visitors, which included rye whiskey, rum, and sherry. The president's recipe called for a variety of alcoholic beverages along with dairy and egg ingredients. 1 quart cream, 1 quart milk, 1 dozen tablespoons of sugar, 1 pint of brandy, half a pint of rye whiskey, half a pint of Jamaican rum, and a 4th pint of sherry. Jesus, they were getting crunk. The recipe instructs cooks to mix the liquor first, then separate yolks and whites of eggs and sugar to beaten yolks mix well. Add milk and cream, slowly beating, beat whites of eggs until stiff and fold slowly into mixture. Let it cool in place for... So this is actually part of what I was interested in. I've had my hand at making cocktails, and I've tried making egg cocktails, but oftentimes when egg or certain amounts of dairy hit certain kinds of alcohol curdles, and so I think that's why they're doing a lot of the, like, whipping it up with sugar, separating the whites from the eggs, you know, doing a lot of beating. I think that's probably, and then adding the milk and cream slowly, and then adding, you know, the alcohol so that you're not curdling everything. All right, we're here. We're at the Tom and Jerry cocktail. It's a form of hot eggnog cocktail that was once popular. The Tom and Jerry was invented by a British journalist, Pierce Egan, in the 1820s using brandy and rum added to eggnog and served hot, usually in a mug or a bowl. As a traditional Christmas cocktail, let's see, variant of eggnog, brandy, and rum. Added and served hot. Preparation: separate eggs, beat egg whites until stiff, mix egg yolks with powdered sugar, put a spoonful of yolk mixture into a cup, and mix with brandy and rum, fold in some egg whites, then add hot milk and top with more egg white, stir gently. Honestly, this sounds a lot like what they were eating or drinking at President Washington's parties. Just hot instead of cold. So they were adding cold cream. See this soy nog? They also had almond nog, which I've not tried. Let's see, non-dairy and vegan versions. Some North American manufacturers offer soy, almond, rice, or coconut milk-based alternatives for vegans and those with dairy allergies, lactose intolerance, or other dietary restrictions. History of non-dairy eggnogs goes back to 1899. Wow, that's a distance. When Amanda Lambert, in her Guide to Nut Cookery, gotta get that nut cookery, gave a recipe for eggnog using coconut cream, eggs, and sugar. Oh, I wonder if nuts were the old, like, protein substitute. I mean, they have to be. They have to be the old protein substitute. Nuts and beans. The Natural Food Sweet Tooth Cookbook gave a more modern non-dairy eggnog recipe. In 1981, Greene County of Los Angeles, California, introduced Grain Nog, the earliest non-dairy and vegan eggnog, based on azamake, a traditional Japanese fermented rice beverage. Contains no egg. Grain Nog was available in plain strawberry and carob? What the fuck? The carob's a flowering evergreen tree or shrub in the legume family. It is widely cultivated for its edible pods and the ornamental tree in gardens and landscapes. What? Are often used as animal feed, and in times of famine, the last source of human food in hard times. Carob bar is an alternative to chocolate bars, as well as carob chips, an alternative to chocolate chips. So I guess carob pods are somewhat sweet, not bitter, and contain no theremin or caffeine. What do they taste like? I've never heard of this before. Interesting. Okay. In 1981, Redwood Valley Soy Foods Unlimited introduced Soy Nog, based on soy milk and tofu added for thickness. Ugh.
light nog and tofu nog. That's just rough. That's a really rough time. I mean, I feel like you add your whiskey to it, it's fine, but I mean, I drink the eggnog before the eggnog. Whiskey's just a benefit on top, but whether homemade or commercial eggnog is being served, toppings may also be added, such as nutmeg, ground cinnamon. I've got cinnamon downstairs, but I don't want to add it. Whipped cream, cinnamon sticks and chocolate shavings, or a vanilla pod. Dude, try and find vanilla pods. Just try it. I mean, it's really difficult to find vanilla beans right now. Not, okay. Sorry. Both homemade and commercial eggnogs are made in alcoholic-free versions, recipes in which alcoholic beverage, generally brown, aged spirits such as bourbon, brandy, or rum. Okay. Some people are concerned because there are raw eggs in here. While the alcohol added to many homemade eggnogs is a bactericide? Oh, bactericide. Sometimes abbreviated to bacidal. Is a substance which kills bacteria. Yeah, so you add the eggnog to it, it cleanses it. Very small percentage of raw eggs are infected with salmonella. The salmonella usually comes from the shell and not having washed the shell. Alcohol content, nutritional aspects. 1 cup, 250 milliliters. How much do I have in this? They say one serving size is half a cup, 120 milliliters. But 120 milliliters times 2 is 260? That doesn't make sense. That's not right. If this is saying 1 cup is 250, then their half cup is wrong. Wait a second. How many milliliters is in a cup? Oh, it's not an exact amount. This is 17% of a typical person's daily value of food energy. Did you know that half a cup of this is 22% of my daily cholesterol? 190 times 7. So this is 1330 calories. Yeah. I know this cup's only half full, but it's gonna cut the whiskey a little bit. God, I love eggnog so much. Alright. Who cares if it's clogging my veins as we speak? Time Magazine's Trishan Stephenson states that eggnog's alcohol and sugar provide energy. Eggs supply protein, and the fat from the milk and cream gives the wintertime drinker the necessary layers to deal with the frost. He's saying it's making me fat. Time Magazine also states that with its cream, eggs, and sugar ingredients, eggnog can pack upwards of 400 kilocalories per cup. CNN states, man, they're pulling a lot of news sources for this. It's not a good sign. CNN states that a relatively small 4-ounce 120 milliliter cup of store-bought eggnog boasts a whopping 170 calories. Well, this one's a little heavier, I think. This one's 190. I'm packing 20 more calories. Half of those from fat, and around a quarter of your recommended daily intake of cholesterol. Yep. Dude, I already ate 3. Listen, this is half the size of what, like, Dean's eggnog comes in. In December, I've already drank 3 of this. This is my 4th. Oh, it wasn't a Kroger brand eggnog. I got Dean's eggnog, and it was Southern Comfort eggnog, which is designed to put alcohol in. Southern Comfort eggnog's pretty good. I think I like the Promised Land better, though. That's just my opinion. Reception and consumption. Eggnog has a polarized reception from food critics, chefs, and consumers. Esquire states that there doesn't seem to be a middle ground on eggnog. You either love it or hate it. Let me know. Do you love it or do you hate it? I want to know. Most people I ask haven't even tried it before because they hear egg and they're like, ugh, why would I want to drink egg? And I'm like, it's freaking... I'm not even drinking from the mug anymore. It's just so good. I thought I was gonna get really sick feeling because I was already so full, but I love eggnog so much that this is nothing. I feel like I could drink this whole thing. I shouldn't because I will get very sick. While some enthusiastic advocates of the beverage, others are critical of its taste or consistency. It is thick. I will warn you, if you do not like a thick beverage, this is thick. CBS states that the ancient drink can be quite divisive. The Guardian writer Andrew Shanahan described eggnog in a critical manner in 2006. People rarely get it right, but even if you do, it still tastes horrible. It smells like an omelet. What? Of course, this just smells like whiskey, so hold on. Man, I don't get that. I don't get the smells like an omelet thing. Maybe you tried to make homemade? It smells like an omelet and the consistency defies belief. It lurches around the glass in partially sentient sludge. Well, it doesn't move on its own. That's a little embellishment. He states the eggnog is popular because it icks. Why? What is this quote? You know how people will put in parentheses he to make grammatical sense because they're taking the quote out of a long structure? This person forgot the beginning and end of the word. It icks every single one of the guilty pleasure boxes on account of being little more than fat, sugar, and alcohol, which makes it so ludicrously delicious. A sort of alcoholic custard. New York writer Carmen Maria Machado describes the anti-eggnog article in the Times as a buzzkill for providing the drink's calorie count. Machado argues that Gnog's, what is this? Gnog's decadence should not be considered sinful. Indeed, it is one of the foods whose low-fat variants I believe to be kind of a crime. I kind of get that. I mean, this is not designed to be healthy. This is literally, they were saying this is designed so that you could put layers on for winter. I mean, this is for, and I mean, think of it this way. When it's made in the 1800s, right? That's where it's originally come from. You don't have a good way to preserve a lot of your things. So, as wintertime starts coming along, you still got a bunch of eggs. You gotta do something with those eggs. So, getting them into a stable form by mixing them with cream and alcohol, that's not a bad way to do it. I don't think it stores for crazy long, but it's just a way to use them. I mean, you can't just keep making omelets, you know? Canadian chef Heidi Fink from Victoria praises homemade eggnog, but criticizes the slimy glop that you can buy in supermarkets. Chowhound criticizes Trader Joe's chocolate-flavored eggnog, calling it gas. The New York Daily News argued against the use of eggnog flavoring and other flavors like blueberry and coffee, calling the results Franken coffee. I just think that the bitterness of coffee doesn't blend with eggnog. I think it makes the eggnog taste more bitter. I think it makes the coffee taste more bitter, personally. Consumption of the United States in 2019 was 53.5 million bottles purchased. Americans spent $158 million on eggnog. The consumption of eggnog was down 42% since 1969. Oh wait, it's more popular in the United States in the 2000s than in the United Kingdom, despite the fact that it was developed in Britain and then transplanted to American colonies in the 1700s. As of 2014, Canadians are drinking less store-bought eggnog. They drank 5.3 million liters of commercial eggnog in 2014's Christmas period. That's a lot of eggnog. Some of the possible reasons for the decline of Canadian eggnog consumption could be concerns about raw eggs, or health concerns regarding, well, I mean, no big deal on health concerns, right? It's not like I'm consuming way too many calories or anything. Do we want to figure out how to make homemade eggnog? Joshua Weissman. Oh yeah, I know Joshua. Nope. Okay, so here's my thoughts. Buy eggnog and enjoy it. That's all I'm gonna say. I hope you've enjoyed this video. It is the most wonderful time of the year. I hope that everyone's staying safe, that you're putting on layers for the holiday season. Cheers.